get into it right here. Boom! Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. You want to hit them with an intro? It's been a while since we've done a Wrestling with Time. This is episode, I don't know, what Wrestling with Time is this, 15? No, we got
15, 14.
I don't even know what Wrestling with Time is. It's no, it's definitely not fit. It's gotta be 16, isn't it? 16? Who knows, man?
That's as far as I know.
I forgot. Well, we just did Stab episode 15, right? Or 14.
Yeah.
I'm so lost. It's
14.
been a week. It's been a hell of a week, bro. It's been a hell of a recovery redemption week. After a wild weekend doing karaoke and singing Johnny Cash and Boulevard of Broken Dreams and shit. You don't want to see it. I was like lying to people. I was like videotaping myself. I was like, I'm reading a text message, but I'm really just recording myself singing Boulevard of Broken Dreams so I can see if this sounds like shit later or if it sounds good.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is now time for one of the greatest wrestling podcasts of all time. This is Our Time Is Now, Time Warp, the Road Star, Tree J. Roden. This is Wrestling with Time.
And
now, listen, Cody Rhodes, Cody, my boy, I love you, Cody. But I have to give the props to these two boys right here. These two boys know what they're doing. All right, they're going to make movie magic. Like I said, the next biggest thing in wrestling was going to be somebody out of New York, and it's these two boys right here. So, as Jim Cornette would say, this is like cum on a gold tooth. And now enjoy the show.
It's funny you say next production because I'm at my job today, and one of my coworkers starts going off, and she was like, like making sounds like laughing. And I was like, yo, you sound like Gold Dust. And she's like, who? And I was like, Gold Dust. So I had to pull up like Gold Dust Tourette fits where he's like, ha, 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 ha. You think you're going to get away? And he's just started going like bugging the fuck out. And she's like, she started laughing.
Last one was in 2005 or 2004. I think he wanted a match against Triple H or something. He goes up to Triple H and he goes, I want to wrestle you at WrestleMania.
Well, actually, what popped up on my feed initially was Gold Dust on the Howard Stern show.
Bro, Dustin Rhodes is awesome. I love Gold Dust. I love Dustin Rhodes. He's an awesome guy.
But they actually initially what popped up, what got me into it was him on the Howard Stern show. And there was like people in the comments like, I'm surprised they didn't kick him out. And I'm like, kick him out for what? Howard knew that was fucking gold. You got Gold Dust on your show and it's fucking gold. And him going, fuck, shit. Like fucking spazzing out and shit. Tourette syndrome.
That's what you do. You stay in character. Kayfabe, bro.
What was that kid's name that used to go to Sachem? You remember Steven something? And like people used to say he had Tourette's. And I don't even know if he really had it or if he just used that as an excuse so he could curse. He was like a little fat kid and people thought he was the shit. And he'd just be like, bitch. You know who I'm talking about though, right? Steven something.
He sounds familiar. I don't remember his name. He sounds familiar.
But I forget. Anyway.
Being a special ed, he could have been in the special ed classes, so I don't know.
Yeah, many moons ago. He wasn't, I don't think he was special ed as much as he played it off that he probably could have been special ed.
Tell you something. In high school, junior high, in elementary school, I'm very smart. All of my IQ tests say I should not be in special ed. But because I have a certain learning disability and I really don't know what it is, maybe it's I read too fast and I don't process everything quickly or anything or something. Yeah. I don't know, but my IQ is at least over 130, 140 at least.
Yeah. Well,
I'm literally a smart motherfucker. The smartest person in the world is Ben Stye, and I think his IQ is at almost 300. I could be wrong on that.
Clear eyes clears your eyes after smoking a little bit of weed.
Shut up. I could be wrong because the clear eye guy might not be the most intelligent person in the world. But what I do know is that you got red eyes, use clear eyes. They're 100% medicated and activated enough for you in order to get your eyes nice and white again. You smoke a little weed, drop two drops and call me in the morning. Clear eyes.
It's red in the room right now, so you can't see my red eyes because they're not red yet. Hold on one sec. I just gotta get a lighter right quick. I think I have a lighter over here. I hope I have a lighter over here.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, today's episode of Wrestling Live is
Maybe
going
I'm
to
not
be
meant to smoke
about
this episode. All right, fuck it. I
the
don't have a lighter right now, and I can't run to the fucking store in the middle of a
Elimination
podcast.
Chamber or the first ever Hell in the Cell match from Bad Blood in '97.
So actually, yeah, dude, I'm way off right now because this is actually Wrestling with Time, WWT episode 18. We did 17. It was the Backlash 99. And this is, yeah, like you said, this is WWF In Your House, Bad Blood, October 5th, 1997, featuring the first ever Hell in a Cell match with Hell in a Cell coming up this Sunday. It's only right that we give you the very first to ever do it.
Hell in a Cell on a pay-per-view.
I just want to, I mean, we could just run through this pretty quick and just go through the matches.
In Your House was just a glorified house show.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was. It was a glorified house show.
They were pretty much using it as an experiment to see, how is this going to work? Is it going to work? If anybody dies, it won't be televised.
That shit lasted 5 years.
What, In Your House did?
Yeah, In Your House started, I think, in like 94, 95, right around the time Raw started.
Why did they ever stop it? I don't even know why they ever stopped it in the first place.
Originally, In Your House had a sweepstakes that you could, enter in the sweepstakes, and the WWE would get, buy you a new house, and, the wrestlers will do stuff in your house, and we'll pay for everything, and, all that stuff. And that was the whole concept of In Your House.
Okay.
But then after the whole sweepstakes took a fucking shit and everything, like Publishing Clearinghouse, they just dropped the sweepstakes and all the funds and the bells and whistles and stopped giving out these big checks so you could buy a house like Publishing Clearinghouse does. And they just did a pay-per-view. It was a glorified house show at that moment.
Huh. Makes sense.
I believe 98 or 99 was the last one. This one could have been the last In Your House.
I don't think so.
I could be wrong. I believe the last one was in 98 or 99.
DX In Your House, wasn't that 98? I don't know. I could be wrong.
Yeah,
that could have been.
That was 1998. That was when Shawn Michaels was out and he was done because of the back injury, which we will get to later tonight.
So I did have a note here that I was reading on ESPN's website that they said this was full of firsts, such as the Hell in a Cell, which was obviously the first Hell in a Cell, but they said this was full of firsts.
Yeah. I want to save the biggest moment for the last. Do not spoil it. I will tell everybody what happens, because I will do the good old JR impression of when we get to this fantastic moment.
Okay, so you're saying that you want to call the main event, and when we get to it, is that what you're telling me?
Because I'm JR and I work with Undertaker and Shawn Michaels.
All right. Well, that sounds fair to me. We're coming out of St. Louis, Missouri.
Tonight, King.
We're coming out of St. Louis, Missouri with this one. I mean, the show opens up. The show opens up with tragic news, which was crazy, that Brian Pillman passed away this afternoon from Vincent Kennedy McMahon himself. Insane that the first Hell in a Cell, Brian Pillman passes away. And, I don't know, but
thank God we got Pillman Jr. on AEW, but continue.
I just actually watched Meeting Austin or something last night on Peacock, and it was explaining the Hollywood Blondes, and I didn't really ever watch Austin at that time. So
a team that Eric Bischoff and Jim Hurt at the time just threw together.
It was a great team, though. I mean, they brought out the best in each other. It was dope. Like I love Steve coming out with his camera.
You don't have to watch that Austin episode, that documentary of it. Go to the Austin, go to the Stone Cold Steve Austin podcast, where he does a podcast by himself when it was just by himself.
Yeah.
And he talks about the whole Brian Pillman thing with the Varsity Blonde, with the Hollywood Blondes and everything. He pretty much said that, he wanted, Stone Cold wanted to be a singles guy.
Okay.
But Jim Herd at the time, because he was in WCW, and then when Jim Herd left, Eric Bischoff came in, and Eric Bischoff was the one who really, Jim Herd was the one who sowed the seeds, but Eric Bischoff was the one who said, no, I'm putting you two guys together, and either you guys got to make something or that's it. I'm firing you. And Brian Pillman actually took it upon himself to actually make the team for what they are. It's like, Stone Cold said at first, I was totally against it. I was just doing it because of the payoffs and everything. But, once, Pillman started getting more and more into it, doing the fucking attires for us and everything, I was like, all right, you know what? I'll actually get more involved and more enthusiastic about it. And as you can tell, more into their tag team. You can see in the beginning, Steve Austin's not really that happy.
Yeah.
You can visibly tell that he's very unhappy that he's in a tag team when he should be in the singles.
Well, he was always charismatic enough to be in the singles division, and I think that's where he really wanted to be the whole time. So when he finally was able to step into that light,
best title in WCW, and then that's when the whole thing changed for the Hollywood Blondes and the whole 9 yards. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you go and watch their first couple of matches, you can visibly tell on Stone Cold's face and in his ring, he's not happy.
Yeah, dude, I don't have a lighter nowhere around here, man. Not a fucking single one.
I got a lighter. Here, you want some digital fuego? Turn this into an NFT.
No fluid. But all right. Anyway, we'll jump into match 1. I'm gonna let you know that I am not so well at predicting this matchup. And I mean this entire pay-per-view really. It was Nation of Domination versus the LOD in a 2-3 handicap match. Ken Shamrock was supposed to be here. Obviously, something happened. Ken was taken out. So who did you have picked for this? Because honestly, I was predicting LOD just because Legion of Doom came out. Hawk gave this promo and he was like, we ain't scared of no one. Like,
from WCW. I don't remember. Is this the pairing with Sonny or before Sonny?
I don't remember if Sonny was ringside with them. I didn't put here accompanied by Sonny, so I don't think they were with Sonny. Oh, wait. Yep. Yep. Sonny. So
it was the Legion of Doom 2000.
Yep. Oh yeah, no. Actually, Sonny, I don't think was with them, but I could be wrong. I don't really know where the fuck my notes go with this, actually.
No. She was sleeping with Shawn Michaels around this time. So no, that wouldn't be happening. This is that time frame. So if she's sleeping with Shawn around this time, LOD 2000 was in 99. I'm sorry. Continue.
Well, Rock hits the rock bottom, and it's before it was the rock bottom because they didn't give you the, rock bottom. I want to say the Rock is very professional in the aspect.
Slam. That's exactly what it is. It's a standing uranagi.
Okay, because it almost looked like a bookend, but then I rewound it real quick and I said,
what a bookend is called. It's called a standing uranagi. Yeah, you stand up and you fucking pop them.
But the thing that The Rock made unique is that he's the biggest professional because The Rock hooks his leg to catch the impact. So when he throws you up, he throws his leg behind your leg and uses it while he's standing on that one leg. So when you come down, I guarantee it's less of an impact on the person, but it looks impactful. I mean, I'll even post a picture because I was I screenshot it and I was like, look at that professionalism right there. He hooks the leg, he catches it, and The Rock always did it because it gave him that air Rocky, air Maivia. But yeah, I don't know. It was Sonny and Doc backstage, who's Michael PSA Hayes.
That's the fucking contract for Jordan shoes if he's all about the air. They would have called him Rocky Bottoms.
I was joking because I said this was when Sonny must have been banging Michael Hayes, but there was a 1-800 commercial talk line and she's flirting with him to take him back to that cell and have a little fun ourselves, cuddle up. And he said, as long as you remember me and they forget me. This is Michael Hayes.
This is Vince Russo era, so that's GSTV.
Either way,
the fucking backstage.
She wanted to take him back to the cell, have fun, and he said, as long as you remember me and they forget me, it's all right with me. And he's laughing, and then she cuddles up to him, and I'm like, yeah, he's definitely tapping that ass. PSA is bringing that into the postal service and dragging it from state to state. But all right, so yeah, actually, it was the win was actually Nation of Domination. So that was it.
I wouldn't expect Legion of Doom to win at this point in time because they're there to put people over at that point.
Yeah. Well, either or, you know, I was still hoping Legion of Doom just for the aspect of it.
1999 as LOD 2000 with Sonny as their manager. That's when everything started falling apart even more, even though they got a good tag team run out of it.
So, but that match was over. Next up, we had Brian Pillman versus Dude Love was scheduled. You know, obviously due to the events. So I didn't really have anyone picked for this. It was Mosaic and Tarantula, their mini luchas versus Max Mini and Nova mini luchas. And Max Mini is apparently the smallest athlete in the world, according to Vincent Kennedy McMahon. And I said
the smallest athlete in the world was fucking Hornswoggle.
It's Max Mini at this time, I suppose. You know, this is probably before Hornswoggle, but they were small luchas, but I didn't really have anyone picked. I didn't have a prediction, but the winners were Max Mini and Nova. But I said, leave it up to Vince McMahon to have the largest athlete in the world and the smallest athlete all in the same corporation, the World Wrestling Federation.
Well, originally the WWF or WWWF used to be a traveling circus.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's where really wrestling kind of originated from. Was the sideshow
wrestling is the stepheaded child of the sports entertainment industry because they are a traveling circus.
Okay.
Everybody's a carny. Everybody's got their ego. Everybody thinks they're better than everybody else. And I know there's a few of you that are watching and you know your fucking egos are too big for your own good. That's why you're all in your fucking late. That's why you're all in your early 30s and you're not fucking signed to anywhere.
Bushwhackers. Fucking. So Sunny comes out again. She's in the ring again. And she said, you all know my history.
Hold on. If you guys had any fucking talent, they would have hired you by now if you would have put an application in. But since you don't have talent, sorry.
I also do have to bring
There's
something
a reason
up.
why I can book a better show with people that I don't know, and I can book it 10 times fucking better than anybody else. Because I have creativity.
I have to reiterate something that my
continuity. I keep everything in the same aspect of when it happens and all these little keynotes that when something big happens later down the road, you'll remember these little itty bitty things. It's called little cryptids and little messages that actually lead you down the road.
I have to correct myself from something I've said in the past.
This week with Becky Lynch and Asuka too, and Becky Lynch still had her hair green from last week. Continuity.
Ooh, what if it was purple or red?
No, he sprayed the green mist in her face last week, and it got her hair, and she hasn't washed it out. So she's keeping kayfabe real.
Yeah, I haven't had time to even watch recent wrestling. I watched AEW last week.
Your hair, if you have red hair, it's gonna bleach it. Everything else that makes fucking sense.
I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to actually watch Hell in a Cell. I'll probably have to come back and watch it because I'm working.
If I was to go to WWE, send them an email and say, "Hey, I'll book the fucking show. I'll book every fucking show. You guys just do the house shows. I'll do Raw and SmackDown. And let me tell you something. You guys will have better fucking ratings. You guys will start making more money. And not for nothing, y'all can kiss my ass because I can turn goddamn fucking Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes on a match at WrestleMania. Fuck you. You guys can only do 5. I can do 10.
They don't have enough employees after all those releases last year during the COVID quarantine.
We got Money in the Bank coming up. So we're going to veer off just for 2 minutes. Let me just vent for 2 minutes. Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns, 10-star match, WrestleMania 39. I'm going to book it right now. You set it up at Money in the Bank. Cody wins Money in the Bank. He ends up becoming #1 contender to face Roman Reigns. No, he doesn't cash in Money in the Bank. Okay. He gets the same title win as his dad did in the Garden. Won by count-out shenanigans, which means he couldn't win the title and bring it home. He won by count-out. That's #1. That keeps continuity. You see, continuity, because that happened to Dusty Rhodes, and now it'll happen to Cody Rhodes. It's continuity, motherfucker. #2, you have him lose at the Royal Rumble.
He has that briefcase, but since he is such a baby face, he doesn't really want to use it unless if he has to. Mm-hmm. He'd rather go the old school way. Okay, I couldn't win the match there, so at the Royal Rumble, I'll try to win the Rumble. Doesn't win the Rumble. Right before fucking the whole thing goes down at WrestleMania, he cashes in because now let's just say Roman Reigns, he got a new contract now, which is all legit. He's only going to work so many dates. He's not going to be doing every fucking premium live event. So let's just say he comes out on the stage at WrestleMania, comes out and says, there's nobody that can beat me. And even if Cody Rhodes even cashes in his Money in the Bank contract, it's not going to make a difference because y'all acknowledge me, and he did at SummerSlam, and he will again. That's when Cody's Rhodes fucking entrance music hits. He comes out of nowhere, hits him with the briefcase, cashes in right there. But there's a stipulation on the contract that Cody worked in with Vince McMahon when he won it, or Adam Pearce, whoever you want to fucking deal with. Knowing Cody, he would go to Vince McMahon because that storyline wise. Go to Vince McMahon when he won the briefcase. He had a special little thing and put in the contract.
No bloodline.
Nope. The belt can be changed by countouts if it happens. So if Cody Rhodes wins the match by countout, he can automatically become whatever champion that is on Roman's shoulders.
And then Roman has
That's
a
how
flip
you
out
get
like, what? This is
now
absurd.
It is the state that countouts will enable a title change, no matter what. Whether if Roman retains or Cody wins, you're going to get a new champion. Well, somebody's going to win no matter what, regardless. But DQ is on there, but there's no countouts.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you're saying that he's going to win it the same way his father won it, but actually win it and not have the loophole
win it with
system
the countouts and not, exactly.
That'd be pretty dope.
That's
he's calling it now, ladies and gentlemen. He's calling it now.
And then what happens? The bloodline comes down. They try to hit him. And then guess who comes out of nowhere? Randy Orton and fucking Matt and fucking Matt Riddle, because they'll still be a tag team that, by next year's WrestleMania. They got big plans for that.
Yeah. I think Randy kind of just wants to give him his shine. Like, he still wants to be in the spotlight, but like he said before, he's having fun with it. And he's just enjoying the ride right now.
I would be okay with them continuing them to WrestleMania. They could do a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
And Cody Rhodes is getting attacked by the bloodline. Randy Orton comes out. Fucking Matt Riddle comes out. And then out of nowhere, Legacy's theme hits, and fucking Ted DiBiase Jr. hits the ring. And it's only a one night only at WrestleMania. One night only. Doesn't have to wrestle ever again. It's just one night only. Legacy music hits. Fucking Ted fucking runs down to the ring and starts clearing house. And then fucking Cody and Ted start doing what they used to do with Randy Orton back in the day in Legacy. And then that's how they fucking end WrestleMania, with Legacy and RK Bro standing tall against Roman and the Bloodline.
That would be fire.
That's continuity. That's 15 years in the making. And that also ties everything up together, because now you're full circle with Cody Rhodes. When he first came in, he was with Legacy. Then he left the Stardust. He came back. He became the champion. And by becoming champion, who came out to help him? The Legacy. Mm-hmm. You see how that works?
His legacy.
Legacy of Cody Rhodes and the Rhodes family.
Yeah.
It writes itself. That's a 10-star match.
Sounds good to me.
Fuck anybody. What anybody says, that's at its greatest. It's legacy. Cody Rhodes' legacy. The Rhodes legacy. Mm-hmm. You have Legacy come back at WrestleMania for one night only.
Yeah. And I think when after Cody came back and he was talking to Randy, or saw Randy backstage
with the championship, with Randy Orton, Ted DiBiase, and Matt Riddle, all hold it. They're the tag team champions. He's the WWE champion, and Ted DiBiase is just there for a good payday.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Hold up 1 sec. I got to check one more spot for a lighter right quick.
Monday Night Raw opens up the next night. Cody Rhodes comes down to the ring with no title belt. Everybody's going, what the fuck's going on? Where's the title? I thought he was the champion. He comes out, he talks for about 2 minutes, and he says, I got a surprise for everybody. Remember when I redid the Intercontinental title? Well, I brought back, and then Triple H comes down to the ring with the Winged Eagle belt.
I hope. That would be crazy.
That is continuity.
Behold the king.
King
of kings. On your knees.
Like I said, Cody Rhodes comes out, no title belt. Everybody's going, I thought he's the champion, but the title under his name, the title card says WWE champion, Cody Rhodes. He comes out, no belt, no nothing. He says, I got a surprise for you guys. You remember when I did the one thing 15 years ago? Well, we're going to do that with this. And then Triple H comes out and hands him the Winged Eagle title, which is the most beloved championship in WWE history.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. And it's the one that his father wanted to always hold, and now he's going to be the nightmare to hold it.
With the original Attitude Era belt, which is we're in this era right now, because that's the Winged Eagle in this era on this pay-per-view. See, continuity.
That'd be dope if they did also change the title back to that, because the titles are getting kind of more corny and sillier as time goes on. They're like trying to make it way too modern, and it's like, doesn't look that great, bro.
This episode's title,
Eagle.
Wrestling with Time, Bad Blood 97, and Continuity.
Winged Eagle returns. America will be great again. For TJ. He would love you'd love if I would put that motherfucker.
Great WrestleMania moment. Everybody would have been sent home happy that night. That's how you end WrestleMania, with legacy.
Yeah. Okay, yo.
Because it's Rhodes' legacy of that title that they never won. So in continuity,
I know you're stoned out of your head because you said continuity about 87.5 fucking times. It's 1997 and you said it 97 fucking times. Hold on, hit them with a sponsor. I gotta get a pipe right quick because I found a fucking lighter in my bag, and I know you're high as shit. It's my turn. Hit him with that sponsor, kid, and let that. Oh wait, before you hit him with a sponsor, just want to let you guys know that after this episode, you will be able to click the first link in the description below and order yourself the first official Wrestling with Time t-shirts. I know I've been saying it's coming for a long fucking time, but the first one, the little logo that you see in the corner of the screen, will be available on multiple colors, multiple shirts for the nice little price of $20. I think I just got an email today saying like the cost is going up by $1. So it might be, $21. I don't know. I'll figure it out, but it's not going to be more than $25. You could order a shirt by clicking that link below and get yourself a Wrestling with Time. Help support the show. And with that, hit him with the sponsor. I got to get a pipe to blow some smoke.
Ladies and gentlemen, today's sponsor is brought to you in part by Dr. Squatch's Soap. All right, so we got Gilbert Godfrey doing Dr. Squatch. I used to do Aflac, but now I'm doing Dr. Squatch Soap. Look, it's the best soap in the world. It cleans your balls, it cleans your ass. It does everything. It's got 0 grit, medium grit, and heavy to kill all the skin or get rid of it on your decrepit body. I remember one time I told this joke that I would rather have stage 4 cancer instead of eating some girl's nasty pussy. And I'll tell you right now that I would rather wash my balls with sandpaper than use anything else but Dr. Squatch's soap. Get it today. My favorite is pine tar because, as you know, I'm a parrot from Aladdin and I like trees. So go get some today and wash your balls.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is one pussy he'd eat if it was washed with Dr. Squatch.
Catherine Zeta-Jones. Michael I would hold on. Ah. Michael Douglas went down on Catherine Zeta-Jones one time, and he ended up getting stage 4 lung cancer. I would rather drag my dick through a mile of glass than go downwind of her on anything. Gilbert Gottfried, folks, he's still alive.
Speaking of not going down on anybody, now I really have to make this correction here because I was going to make this correction a while ago. However, Sunny is in the ring now at this point, back to the pay-per-view, and she said, "You all know my history with tag teams, so it's only a right that I announce this match." And yeah, Sunny, we do know your history with tag teams. You weren't just historic with tag teams, you were getting tag team historically. But a while back, I did say on an episode, I said, "Yo, I'd still tap Sunny."
Shawn Michaels. No, that was only 1v1.
But I told you, I'm just saying, she probably did get tag team. The way she was up on PSA Hayes, she would have did the Hardy Boys at this point and caught a charge for hashtag me too.
That was
Sunny.
Maria. That was Maria, and Maria confirmed.
Either way, I did say a while back, I said, I'd still fuck Sunny, dog. I just seen a YouTube video of her locked up and how she looks now. Oh my God, bro. She is taking a long fall from grace. I don't know if it was drugs, alcohol, what was her major addictions, but honestly, she does not look that great. And I don't think I'd tap that ass no matter what, even if she did have an OnlyFans and was the 0.01% top.
Go watch her fucking porno. Watch her porno, fucking Sunny Side Up or Sunny Through the Back or some shit like that. It's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. It actually makes China and X-Pac look watchable.
Well, anyway, she announces this match, and it's the Godwins versus the Headbangers. She was probably banging them or giving them head or something.
If Sunny was 20 years younger and did that, it would be totally okay. But since she was in her 40s and did it and was over 60 pounds overweight,
I got to go back and see it. I don't know. I'll check it out. But
Backdoor was Sunny or fucking Sunny Side Up, whatever it was.
I'm 0 for 0 tonight because initially I picked the Headbangers for this just because naturally they were one of my fan favorites.
It was a really good tag team back then. They were actually very popular.
Yeah, I mean, it was the Godwins that won. I didn't realize that one of the Godwins was Midian pre-Ministry of Darkness because I never really knew the Godwins like that. Like I didn't really watch the Godwins, but
is this after Naked Midian or is this just?
I don't know. It's Midian. It's Midian. He's the Godwin brother. He's one of the Godwins, I think. He was one of the Godwins. I don't even know the first names of the Godwins.
Naked Midian was in 98. That was like Vince Russo's like last like greatest thing I think he ever did was just have a guy just streak around the fucking television.
But
just walk with a Chris Pontius thong and he's just fucking running around the
I remember. Yeah, Midian. Yeah.
Running around in Chris Pontius' thong, the fucking real American. He would come out the Hulk Hogan's theme and start dancing around and running around the Hulk Hogan's theme song. It was the funniest shit in the world.
Let's run through this so this way we can get to the main event. Next up we have.
Hold on.
Don't die on me now.
I just.
He's picturing Midian running around in a Chris Pontius party boy thong. After watching WrestleMania this year, it reinvigorated the sense of Thong Man. Running around WWF as Naked Midian, long before the ministry, he was converted to the Church of Darkness. The ministry took in his darkness and channeled it into his third eye, the good eye. The
he would come out of nowhere in the middle of a match. Hulk Hogan's theme would hit, and everybody be like, "What the fuck?" And it's just him running down.
All right, hold on. Let's keep it moving. Let's go through this front page because I got a shitload on the second page about the last couple matches. But I just want to say all right. So next up, we got an Austin trailer. This is around time Owen 316 with young Michael Cole. Back when he was punking for Pat Patterson for sure. Like this is young Michael Cole. Like it's like, well, hello,
Michael Cole. locker rooms
Hey,
way
Owen.
before
Hey,
he was.
Michael. How did you
now-
get this job? Well, I met this guy named Pat Patterson in a bar one night, and he asked how my mic skills were. No disrespect to the late, great
You
Pat
can't
Patterson.
say anything about Pat Patterson. Pat Patterson was accused of child fucking molestation and fucking
Whoa.
sleeping with boys.
Oh,
Can't say that.
What do you mean I can't say that? If
There
it
is
was an
a
accusation, then
there is a actual case. But
they already cut you off. They already froze you up and cut you off just for saying it. Didn't even hear you. See? Too bad this news site isn't ran by, what is Buff Daddy saying? Isn't ran by a decent person.
Continue talking. I will be right back.
No, you froze that whole time, bro. I didn't hear anything you said.
Yeah, no, my phone went off. I'll be right back.
All right, it's all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, okay, so we're gonna keep on moving along here. No, actually, I'll wait till he gets back. In the meantime, like I said, I really want you guys to click the link below. The first link below, you can check out some shirts. I'm gonna be having more shirts made. However, this is the first shirt that was promised in the beginning of episode 1 many moons ago. This is episode 17. 18 now, I believe. This is episode 18 or 17. I know I just said it in the beginning of the show, but I already done smoked, so let's go back to the archives. This is episode 18. 17 was Backlash 99. And this is Bad Blood in Your House, October 5th, 1997. While we're waiting on him, it's time for us to practice our voiceover skills. Do you have what it takes to be a voiceover actor or artist? Well, you can learn. You can try. It's never too late to follow your dreams by clicking the link below and buying a t-shirt or supporting the show with a sponsor so you can hear us do this every week or twice a month or however much we feel like actually doing this in the time that we have allotted to dedicate towards this process. Okay, and now it's time for Jake the Snake. I was watching the Peanut Butter Falcon the other night, and he was beating the heck out of this kid who had Down syndrome. And he said, I don't care. And that kid picked him up with his super strength and threw Jake the Snake very far out into the crowd. And he flew like a bird. I'm surprised they didn't have David Arquette in that movie. They should have. Peanut Butter Falcon with Shia LaBeouf. Great movie. Main character's name is Tyler. I watched it the other night. Pretty good, but all right, you good?
Shia LaBeouf's movies was Holes and the first Transformers movie. That's it.
Hold up. Let's run through this because we're already coming up on 45 and we didn't even get to the back page yet. So obviously,
I didn't know we hookers.
I'm just gonna run through like this little thing right quick. So we have great Gene Kiniski comes out, Canada's greatest athlete. They say he was a football player. This, that, the third. I'm thinking this is kind of a Hall of Fame ceremony, but it's actually only for St. Louis honors. He beat Lou Thez. He was the champ for 3 years. The next honoree is Jack Briscoe, who beat Dory Funk. Thirdly, Dory Funk comes out, who beat Kiniski. He was champ for 4 years. Fourth, Handsome Harley Race. He beat Dory in 73, beat Lou Thez record for the 7-time champ. 16 years old, I guess he started at. And then fifth, Terry Funk finally comes out. 4 decades. And he was really, they were the only bros that were NWA champs, him and his brother. They called him the OG Rattlesnake. That's a fun fact that I didn't actually know, that he was the OG Rattlesnake in ECW.
You know that they call me Chainsaw Charlie because
Yeah.
I was Chainsaw Charlie.
I actually have a Chainsaw Charlie pin on my NWO hat.
I'm Chainsaw Charlie.
I think I used to.
The reason why I got that name is because I used to go to a barber and he used to cut your hair like with a chainsaw, and so we used to call him Chainsaw Charlie.
So
And that's what I want my kids to be. I want to come out with a chainsaw with pantyhose over my head, and I want everyone to call me Chainsaw Charlie. And when I get to the ring and I go around with this, I want fireworks to go off because it's not working.
I would like to say that due to St. Louis, if we were doing
That's
this,
a perfect.
if we were doing this today, we have a 6th entry into that Hall of Fame, obviously, and his name is Mr. Randy Orton, as we spoke on earlier. You know, St. Louis legend for sure. The final honoree, actually, so not 6, because Randy would be the 7th then. 7th heaven, Randy, RKO. The final honorees are Sarah, I can't read that. Sana Munchnik and Luthez actually comes out. They called him the Babe Ruth of wrestling. 74 years old was his last match in 1990. And I'm thinking, is that older than Ric Flair wrestled? How old was Ric Flair when he wrestled his last match? Not 74.
2008.
That was his last match.
2008.
He hasn't wrestled any shows at all, like home shows, nothing ever since Levolution.
No, his last official WWE match was in 08. That was against Shawn Michaels.
Yeah,
and
when he kissed him. Like,
then he went to TNA 4 months later, and then he was wrestling in TNA, which really ruined his career.
All right. Anyway, next up.
We got the greatest segment in TNA history. We got Jay Lethal and Ric Flair doing a woo-off, and Jay Lethal impersonating Ric Flair to a fucking T. Fucking voice, the way he moved, everything was just, gold. It was the best moment, I think, of TNA history. Was Jay Lethal and Ric Flair going,
woo, woo, with each other. Yeah, of course. I feel like we did that for a watch along that we never actually got to put out, so we might have to revisit that at another time. Next up, we got Farook versus Owen Hart. This is a finals for the IC title tournament. I predicted Owen, obviously, the 2-time Slammy winner at this point.
On his neck?
Huh?
Is this the match where Owen Hart dropped Stone Cold on his neck?
No, this is Owen Hart versus Farouk and Stone Cold. We already had the Austin trailer where Austin's making his return and Owen 316 is already running about. That's what I was saying with Michael Cole and Pat Patterson. Owen wins. He's the 2-time Slammy winner. Austin actually nails Farouk with the belt. And, he helps Owen win. And he's kind of baffled by it. But what do you know? I say he wants Owen. He wants that revenge. The Texas Rattlesnake is coming for blood. And since Owen did drop him on his neck, he said, "You son bitch, you're next in line for an ass whooping, stomp a mud hole in you, boy. Walk it dry, whether it's here in St. Louis or in your hometown, Canada, Montreal, Quebec, wherever you're from. This America." 5.
It doesn't matter if we do it in England. What? It doesn't matter if we do it in Germany. What?
It doesn't matter if we do it in Madison Square Garden.
What? And it doesn't matter if we do it in your mama's kitchen.
Ooh, Stu would be mad. But then again, if mama's making stew for dinner, ooh, what's brewing in the crock pot?
You better not take that like a pussy boy.
Yeah. Fucking. All right, so next up, we got Los Boricuas.
Your daddy would be chanting for me, Owen. He'd be chanting for me to kick your ass.
I think I put LAS here because they were calling them Los Boricuas, but I thought it was Los Boricuas.
I thought it was Los Boricuas.
Los Boricuas versus the Disciples of the Apocalypse.
Yeah,
so I predicted the Disciples. The Disciples did win with a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. I just predicted the Disciples because I feel like they were badass. Boricuas, I think this is actually Savio Vega was a part of them before he was Savio Vega, or maybe he was still Savio Vega in them, but I don't remember if they mentioned his name. And then 6th match.
Savio's always been Savio. Savio, that's his real name.
This was kind of a weird match, this next one. It was a pinfall submission or capture the flag, per se, match. And this might be around the time when... It was who? Russo? That's thinking.
A Vince Russo match. That's the way you fucking said it. A capture the flag type of match.
Yeah, that's how I see it. And it was Bret Hart and the British Bulldog versus Patriot and Vader. RIP to both legends. WWEshop.com has a Vader Time mask right now, and I want it, but it's $50 and it looks like cheap material. I'd rather go on Etsy and buy a real leather one. You can get some dope Mankind masks, like real leather Kane masks, all that. Anyway, I predicted Vader and Patriot just because I like Vader and Patriot. Vader and Patriot. The winner was Hart and Bulldog. That was a long match, dude. Not gonna lie, that was like a majority of the night. And I'm thinking because they had to make up for the Pillman match early on. A lot of these matches were long, but that was a long match. Vader attempted the sharpshooter.
honestly, I think the Pillman match was supposed to go maybe like 25, 30 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, the Vader attempted the sharpshooter in this match, which was funny. Brett countered with a roll up. You know, it was like 1, 2, 3. That's how the match won. So it was actually won by pinfall. Nobody actually captured the flag, although that would have been cool. But I guess if they're making Brett win, they didn't want him to capture Old Glory, which makes sense. Especially wrestling used to be more patriotic. You know what I mean? You know what I mean,
Well,
Gene?
he's a Canadian hero. He was a face in England. He was a face in Canada, but he was a heel in the United States.
All right.
That's Kayfabe right there.
We got like 5 minutes or so. You want to stop here and then go into the main event? Fresh start.
I'm rolling a joint for the main event. You're gonna get the best fucking main event pitch ever.
All right. With that, we will be back momentarily. What do you know? He's rolling up. I had this New York Sour D pre-roller right here, but I'm going to save that for our next stab.
Get them. You better fucking send me one.
What, next time I get one, I better send you one?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at this king size fatty. Yeah, that's a nice little road trip for Riddle and Randy. Randy and Riddle's nice little road trip.
Here's a good equalizer right there.
Fucking Jeter bet. You got your baby Jeters. I got a fucking Babe Ruth right here. Fucking Babe Ruth pre-roll.
All right, are we rolling?
We're back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back. We're cross-fading in like entering the Twilight Zone. All right, we're good. All right, so next up we got the main event. From bell to bell, it's 30 minutes in hell. The bell rings at 2 hours and 17 minutes into the pay-per-view, and the last bell is at 2 minutes and 47. So they were like a half hour from bell to bell. Whoever the timekeeper on this match was great. I thought it was a European champion match. It is not a European champion match. However, take it, kid.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is probably the greatest Hell in the Cell match probably in history because of continuity and how we are today with the Hell in the Cell pay-per-view.
It's continuing.
This match is scheduled for one fall inside Hell in a Cell. Coming down to the ring from Death Valley, weighing in at 299 pounds.
Michaels comes first.
The Undertaker.
HBK comes first with China.
Coming up now from, where the fuck is he from in Texas?
San Antonio.
Oh, yeah. Wow, I had a brain fart. From San Antonio, Texas, weighing in at 225 pounds.
Cue the music.
The Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels.
I think I'm cute. I know I'm sexy. And we can't do the Undertaker gong because boom.
First match, we got to have JR on fucking commentary. And my God, this is probably one of the greatest matches of my damn life.
Okay, so Vince McMahon does say, opening the match, he said, something that has never happened before is just about to happen, ladies and gentlemen. Vincent Kennedy McMahon, or gentlemen. He might have been just talking to the announcers, like to JR and Cole or whoever. The Hell in a Cell.
The bell rings. Now I'm going to make it sound nice, sweet, and to the point.
Hold on, before we start, what we should mention is that this is 25 years of hell this year. October 25th this year will mark 25 years of Hell in a Cell, which we were 5 years old. But all right, take it. Go.
Pretty much. They start bashing their heads in. Undertaker gets in. Shawn Michaels gets in. They get their work going in. Shit starts getting extreme because before this, we already had the casket match between Shawn and Undertaker. So now this is the redemption match.
I predicted HBK, but only for the reason that we will get to later on.
So about 26 minutes into the match, everybody's fucking tired. The Undertaker's literally just about to finish the match. He's about to choke slam him and finish the match. And then we just get big fat red pyro and the lights go out.
I wish I had my mask right now. My Halloween costume is away.
And then
that's why the
we
theme is
hear,
red. Throw some flames here.
And that's why we hear, oh, yes! And Who's coming down to the ring? Oh, God, that must be Kane. It's Kane. It's Kane. He just ripped the door off that cell, King. Oh, my God. This has to be Kane.
Yes.
Kane makes the greatest entrance probably in the past 26 years I've been watching wrestling. The greatest debut. Comes in and just rips that motherfucking door off and just starts beating the crap out of the Undertaker.
Not yet. Not yet. They have a stare off. They have the stare down.
I'm just getting, I said short, sweet, to the point.
Yeah. Yeah.
I said short, sweet, to the point.
It was still
they
pretty
just
quick.
Beating the
It was actually quick, though, dude. It was tombstone to reversal.
Dude, I said short, sweet, to the point.
I know, but they didn't beat the shit out of each other, really. It was kind of just Kane fucked them up real quick. Taker was getting his ass beat by Michaels half the match.
Hey, in kayfabe, that's beating the shit out of each other because you're not doing it for real, motherfucker.
Let him know, Dusty. Let him know.
Hit with the tombstone. Fucking Shawn comes in, gets the pin. Triple H comes down with China, and they leave the ring. And Kane just walks away knowing exactly what he did. And then that sets up the next 4 months of pay-per-views.
Hold on. I'm going to run down notes because this is my notes on the match.
It was a way to get the Undertaker and Shawn Michaels feud over because Shawn was now going to go with Triple H and do the shit all the way up until WrestleMania with Steve Austin in order to become the champion.
Tyson coming in and stuff, right? Special guest referee.
Yep.
Yep. Which we got to do that pay-per-view one day, too.
This is so ironic. This is a few months before Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Where Vince McMahon did not screw Bret Hart. Bret Hart screwed Bret Hart. And if he can look himself in the mirror, he can understand that.
Oh, Vinny. Oh, Vinny, Vinci.
Okay? It's ironic that match was a few months before before Survivor Series.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's ironic that it was a year before Shawn versus Austin happened, where Undertaker was backstage taping up his fists to make sure Shawn dropped the belt. It's just how ironic how all that adds up within a year's time, because a year from that Hell in a Cell date, it was Austin versus HBK for the title at Mania. And Undertaker, and continuity. Undertaker was backstage during the Shawn Michaels and Austin match to make sure that Shawn dropped the belt and no shenanigans.
I'm agreeing with you on continuity. This episode being named
Taker knew that Shawn was a big prima donna, and he knew what happened with the fucking Montreal screw job, and he knew Shawn had a part of it. So he wanted to make sure there wasn't going to be another screw job again. He made sure that Shawn dropped the belt. And he pretty much told him, you don't drop the belt, you're not going to be leaving here tonight.
He was looking out for the betterment of the company, really.
That's the reason why that Vince McMahon, you know that Vince McMahon has only inducted 2 people into the Hall of Fame?
Austin and Taker.
Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Undertaker, 2 of his greatest creations.
And when The Rock gets there, he's going to do The Rock too. Anybody who was a flagship member during the...
No, do you know who's going to induct The Rock? I already know who's going to induct The Rock.
Who? Roman?
Stone Cold Steve Austin, his greatest rival.
That would be dope. But I think Vince is going to take the cake on that one. He's going to say, "This is the last slice, damn it. My triangle, my Illuminati pyramid was based on the backs of these 3 men during the hardest times."
Son of a bitch tried to do everything he could to get to Hollywood, and so he had to take all the what chance up his ass. What?
Yeah, it would be great. But I see Vinny doing it. My greatest success story, The Rock.
So I don't see Vince McMahon inducting The Rock. I am sorry. It's going to be Stone Cold.
So hold up, though. I want to run through my notes real quick because I had a lot of continuity is the key word tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So also one thing we should have mentioned is that
be into a drinking game tonight, y'all are fucking hammered.
what happened?
If anybody was playing a drinking game with how many times I said continuity, y'all be hammered.
Yeah, that's me when I'm drinking is repetition, maybe, you know. But that was TJ's job because he's super stoned. He's the tree, man, the human tree sprout growing through the roots of the earth. With the mycelium down below, he's not on mushrooms. He's not microdosing anything. He's just smoking it to the face. But anyway, I want to mention that
drug.
This what?
If it comes from the ground, it's not a drug.
It's not a drug, ladies and gentlemen. If you're smoking
drugs are man-made.
Your bullshit ass nicotine, your alcohol, your fermented alcohol, you fucking addicts out there, including myself. God damn. Anyway. This is, I want to mention that this is actually only their second meeting between Shawn Michaels and Undertaker. So they've only met one more time before this. And think of all the legendary matches we've had after this. How many, what, 2 Hell in a Cells?
The only other match that they had before that was the casket match where Shawn Michaels fucked up his back really bad because Undertaker threw him over the ring and Shawn didn't land it properly. And Shawn fucked up his back.
Yep. Well, either way, I'm just thinking like, think of the WrestleManias we've seen
with feud once and for all.
Think of the WrestleManias we've seen with Taker and Shawn. My favorite one is Light Shawn of the Light.
WrestleMania 25 is the best Shawn Michaels Undertaker match of all. It's the best match of all time.
I seriously think it is. They played it out like the
it's
light versus the darkness. It's a 30-minute
match from bell to bell. It is the greatest match. You got literally. No joke. That's the entire history of Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
In 20 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Technically, maybe like 15, 18 years at that point. You know, like, hold on. WrestleMania 25, that was 07, 08. That was 09. And Raw started in 93.
It's going to be 13,
so that would be about
12
years. 12 years of Monday Night Raw.
No, bro, we're having our 13-year reunion. Going to be this June.
Oh, hold on.
So next
Raw
WrestleMania
15, it was 2000. Hold on, Raw 15 was 2007. So that would be Raw 18. That would be Raw 18.
Either or, it's going. Next WrestleMania will be 14 years. As of now, this past WrestleMania is 13. Since that, but that's still a long time, bro. That was our senior year in high school. That match.
Yep.
Ooh, damn. We had a hell of. 09 was a hell of a fucking year, man. 09 was a great year.
It was right before we graduated.
There was a lot of great music released in 09, bro. I think as we were talking about Mac Miller earlier, I think had some shit in 09, some dope shit. Speaking of the young goat, you know, I think Eminem dropped.
Ariana Grande is a fucking succubus. She fucking killed him.
Eminem dropped Relapse that year, unless that was 08. I don't know. It could have been 08, but I don't remember. It was 08, 09 going in. I was in senior year regardless, but either way, okay, so this set the precedent of what Hell in a Cell is, especially with Taker, I mean, who's just dominating early on, like you said. You know, this is foundational to all future matches that transcended the initial Hell in a Cell. That transcended Hell in a Cell, rather, in general.
Hell in a Cell after that was Undertaker versus Mankind.
I mean, to make it like as it is today, like in the age of kayfabe, I mean, it was even more real at the time. I mean, for its time, it was like we didn't have internet and cell phones back then, so it was just like
the door around it, and it was a steel cage that you were able to walk around the ring, grab weapons and all that stuff. That was cool.
Right now, I mean, okay, so this is how I wanted to say it, because I wanted to do it in continuity, TJ, your keyword. This is the precedent of what Hell in a Cell is, especially with Taker, who's just dominating early on, foundational to all future matches that transcended Hell in a Cell to make it as it is today, in the age of kayfabe, even more real for its time. HBK is that peeping Tom from Little Nicky, and Taker is that big black bird, giving him it all. OG Hell in a Cell didn't have holes. HBK climbs and gives his elbow. HBK with a pile driver onto the steel steps, cursing the cameraman to get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here twice. The tables turned a bit. HBK's got the momentum going, kicking ass a bit. Infamous elbow drop by Michaels. Sergeant Slaughter is here. HBK is tuning up for the band. Sweet chin. Instant sit-up by Taker. HBK busted open. I think blood lands on the camera guy from the top of the cell because they're up there and blood landed on it. And he said, ah, shit, the camera guy. I think it was the camera guy. It had to be the camera guy. I don't think it was them. Couldn't be anybody else. And it was a small spot of red, like a speck of red on there. And you just hear the camera guy because he's under the cage and then boop, ah, shit. And then they cut to outer cage view. All right, boom. That's that. Bada bing, bada boom. Michaels goes through the table. That's where Taker throws him off. Beaten to a bloody pulp. We start getting ECW chants. EC-dub, EC-dub. Begin ringside. Super choke slam from the top rope, which we haven't really seen. Like, it used to be in the video game. I don't remember SmackDown vs. Raw, but yeah, Taker does a super, puts him up, climbs up there with him, does the super choke slam from the top rope. Instead of a superplex, it was fucking insane. Chair shot, calls for the tombstone, lights out. That's gotta be Kane. Weak pyros from what we're used to, in my opinion. It was like kind of bad. Like they were just like, it didn't, like at the time, yeah, crazy, but like Kane, like fucking, like after they had the character around for a bit, then pyros started going, and also his timing was off in the ring when he did this, you know, but hey, first time, we'll work on it, bro. Still one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Love Kane. It was fucking amazing.
Hey. I don't know if you know anything about continuity.
Weak pyros from what we're used to.
I believe Dusty Rhodes in the beginning of this show said something about, it's like coming a gold tooth, baby, just like what my boy Jim Cornette would say.
Yeah.
And did you know, okay, now while I'm back, did you know that Kane was a Jim Cornette idea?
You might have said it before.
Kane is a Jim Cornette idea.
You might have told me that
and
before.
Jim Cornette lasted in the WWE longer than anybody else could have thought because of Kane.
And it was definitely better than the dentist.
Jim Cornette is the creator of Kane, and Jim Cornette has even admitted it. He said, my greatest creation was creating the character Kane.
It was, because Kane's still around today. He's Mayor Kane, for Christ's sake.
I liked all those horror movies with Michael Myers and all those guys. So I said, you know what? I'm going to create a fucking wrestler like that. And we had Kane. Kane was doing the fucking Christmas Grinch fucking thing, the Christmas creature over in fucking Ohio Valley Wrestling at the time.
Well, better than Isaac Yankem and better than Fake Diesel.
So, you know, you play a fucking deranged dentist for Jerry Lawler, then you play the Christmas creature. So we're going to keep this monster theme with you going. I like it.
And he's a monster. Big Red Machine.
And you're like Freddy Krueger in all these movies. Yeah. Well, we're going to make you into one of those.
I wish I had.
And lo and behold, we got the Undertaker's brother.
I'm going to have to settle for the next best thing. But yeah, it was quick, bro. It was just like he tried to tombstone him, I think. And then Kane tombstoned him. I think it was Taker tried to tombstone him and then Kane reversed it into tombstone, but I could be wrong.
Yes, Kane reversed it, and then Shawn Michaels just pinned him and then got out.
And then you're right. Triple H and China come out to help him out. But since I don't have my Kane mask, hold that thought right there. I do have this. But I do. Like I said, you said Jim Cornette's greatest creation of all time. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you were absolutely right. And here's the proof. Mayor Kane, still around to this day as a mayor of Knox, Tennessee.
Yeah, actually the greatest mayor in Knox, Tennessee.
So reading this book almost made me want to move to Knox, Tennessee.
He wants
Mayor
to make
Kane.
America great again. If Kane was to run for president, I'd vote for Kane.
Glenn Jacobs, it's been real. Career was a hell of a career in the World Wrestling Federation or entertainment.
Glenn Jacobs, Kane, the wrestler.
But
I would vote for Kane.
He's one of my favorites.
I would vote for Kane.
He did kind of scare the hell out of me as a kid, but I think Taker scared me more because it was more darkness. Like it was more like the blues and the purples and the dark.
Kane
where Kane was more like fire. It was light.
You know, to be totally honest with you, if that gimmick came out today, now let's just say if the Undertaker gimmick and the Kane gimmick was fresh today, like it was just invented. Undertaker would be scary, yeah, but I would not want to take my chances running into Kane in a dark alley or Kane in a dark room because Kane kept kayfabe. He always wore that mask.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. The Undertaker wouldn't scare me so much, only for the fact that if he's doing dark rituals and fucking sacrificing people, doing this, doing that.
That's what scared me. Yeah, like putting Stephanie
stupid.
up on a cross and shit.
I find that a little stupid, but Kane, on the other hand, oh, well, if you're basing it off of horror movies and the way that his suit was, the mask, everything, you would not. I could see that version of Kane should have been in See No Evil, not the version that we have now.
Yeah, they should have kept the mask on him for sure. It would have just been scarier. Like they could have even like opened it a little bit, like closed one eye, left one eye open with the blue eye.
Every time he came back from an injury, he always redid the mask so it would work more properly and everything. And that's what he should have kept doing, to the point where that he could have had something like the Hurricane's mask, to where that, it's the entire thing and it was great.
He did have that thing for a while where it was just like, cut out the mask up to the nose or whatever. So he said he couldn't breathe. Even in the book, he said that. Like, it was hard to breathe.
But I'm talking later on. He should have kept that gimmick through the entire time.
But I can't imagine instead getting of in 2012, those little holes.
Mask. You see, like when he came back in 2012 for Embrace the Hate storyline with John Cena, where they fucked over my boy Woo Woo Woo, and Zack Ryder, or otherwise now known as Matt Cardona.
The illest
they ruined his
wrestling figure collection in the world.
He came back with a brand new mask, and it was retarded because they should have kept him in a mask for the whole time. They could have kept him in the style that he had before he took it off and kept that all the way up until 2012 with a brand new one. That would have been better, instead of have him maskless for so many years and have him create a new mask with new powers, to where that he should have had the original mask because he was more threatening in that one than this.
Continuity, your word. I'm gonna get you a fucking shirt that says continuity. Keep it continuing. Keep going.
There you go. Keep kayfabe. Continuity is kayfabe. There you go. There's a new T-shirt.
Keep kayfabe alive. Continuity. Or continuity, keep kayfabe alive.
No, continuity is kayfabe.
Equals kayfabe?
No, is kayfabe.
Continuity is kayfabe? All right. Sounds like a plan. Maybe we'll have that up this week also. So stay tuned, on the lookout. Maybe that'll be the second shirt. I got to go back to all the episodes and hear all the ideas that we've had for shirts and actually get the shirts going in motion. But this was the first ever Hell in a Cell until this Sunday at the actual Hell in a Cell pay-per-view 2022. I almost fucked that up. 2022. And with that, I'm going to post a video of me, not a picture of me, ladies and gentlemen, not stripping down out of Shawn Michaels either, but for Halloween last year.
He also did Playgirl in the 90s, even though he needed the money.
Well, no, I'm not Shawn no more. I'm Kane. So I'm going to post my Halloween this past year, 2021. I actually did Kane. And here it is. Here's the video to close out. And then we're going to come back and do this. We out. Get those shirts. Get your merch. Continuity is kayfabe. Wrestling with time.
Dabbing wheelchairs.
He's still rolling around. Oh, I thought of one actually before we close out. I thought of one today, kid. Got to get a picture of you in a wheelchair. Wheelchairing. Kiss stealing. Son of a gun. Something like that. I had it written down. Instead of wheeling dealing, just wheelchairing. And have the guy in his fucking wheelchair that runs Buff Bagwell's fucking Twitter account, obviously. Fucking on a shirt like that. We'll think about it. We'll brainstorm. Stay tuned.
Me and that guy should get the thing.
On the lookout. And fuck that. We're gonna scrap that first Kane outro. All right, kid. Yo, you give him the Taker. I'll give him the Kane. You do the Taker. I got the Kane. Let's close this out. 3,